Pero, ¿quién me ha apagado la luz? Si es que, madre mía, la gente de hoy en día. Ay, Dios. Esto sí, esto está mejor. Jeje. ¡Ah! Ay, ¿pero qué? No, empezamos bien.
Where are you going, Holmes? Have you been invited somewhere?
We have been invited, Watson.
We have. Where to?
To the Baker Street Irregulars' annual dinner. They sent us an invitation. It is on the table.
A dinner? How could those street urchins afford anything like that? I can't understand your interest in them, Holmes. They're dirty. They wouldn't hesitate to steal your wallet. They...
Watson, you should be excited. It is a secret dinner. Its location changes every year. Read the menu. Sounds mouth-watering.
All right. We, the secret
Oh, Dios, me está doliendo. La policía. Les invitamos
and Dr.
anual.
Watson
Oh, Dios mío.
to our annual dinner.
Me está doliendo la vista.
Menu, entree, frozen rat head salad. Is this a joke?
Coño.
Not at all. Pray continue.
Main course, sow's udder in Danny Nutcracker's way. Ah, sounds disgusting, Holmes. Hedgehog goulash. Street turnips in homemade juice.
Dios,
And it
qué
goes
asco.
on.
Ah, I can hear them on the stairs now.
También se me ha hecho la
But
boca
we
agua,
can't go
¿sabes?
there. We can't eat that.
Watson, you'll hurt the feelings of those poor children. We have to go.
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
It is fine, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes!
Wiggins, Dr. Watson is getting ready. He will be delighted to join us. You don't look well, my young man. Is there something wrong? Don't tell me the dinner is cancelled.
Oh, qué pena.
Mr. Holmes, it's my brother Leighton. He's in a prison cell. They say he's killed 2 men. You have to help us, Mr. Holmes, because I know he didn't do it.
Where is he now?
From what I've heard, they took him to the yard, and they gave him a good beating already. You know what they're like. They'll hang him. They won't look any further.
Holmes, we have to help him.
Well, and forget about the dinner. Wiggins, I'll take the case.
You're fantastic, Mr. Holmes. I'll be waiting for you at the crime scene. You'll be there, right? It's on Half Moon Street in Whitechapel.
Very well.
Very well. Espérate un segundito. Necesito hacer la cosita antes. ¡Toby!
Hello, Toby. All
Yay!
you need now is
Apretad
a
los perros.
shawl and a mop cap, and
Yay!
you can be Mrs. Hudson's younger sister.
Para tener este trofeo, en cada caso tenéis que hablar con Toby, ¿eh? O sea, pero en cada caso. No os podéis saltar ni uno. Bueno, pues entonces, a ver, ya nos vamos para... Half Moon Street este. Vámonos. Bueno, ya me he esperado que se me olvidaba. Muy buenas, muy buenas a todos. Aquí estamos en el capítulo... Bueno, el caso 6 de Sherlock Holmes, por fin, en el último caso. Y a ver, ¿dónde está? ¿Eres tú el pillín? No, tú eres un borracho, ¿no? No, vale, esto es para irnos. Vale, pues será para aquí dentro. A ver, ¿cómo se corría? No, ojo de halcón no. Nunca me acuerdo cómo se corre. ¡Chan, chan, chan! Me he llegado.
Please, gentlemen, leave the scene now. Oh, Mr. Holmes, is that you?
Good evening, Constable...
Constable Marrow. I was here with Inspector Aberline during the Ripper case, Mr. Holmes, back in '88. But then this is nothing like that case. With this one, we've got the murderer, the weapon, and the statements, which speak for themselves.
Of course, Marrow. But you know that appearances can sometimes be deceiving.
¿Hay víctimas? Bueno, claro, serán
Who were the
víctimas.
victims?
The 2 men here, both shot. The stab fellow was Brian Vercotti, a well-known ruffian. The other, Kenneth Butler, a jeweller by trade.
¿Hay algún testigo?
You spoke of statements. You have witnesses?
Well, I was there, so I gave my own statement. And then there were 2 other witnesses who said they saw the killer Chapman. Mr. Turner, a gentleman who lives in that flat over there. And Polly Powell, a flower seller, who was over at the far side of the street.
So, Constable Marrow, I should be delighted to hear your testimony.
I was standing at the north side of Half Moon Street. That was the side that you came from.
But you would have been unable to observe this part of the street, where we are standing now.
That is correct. But I saw the 2 victims slowly enter Half Moon Street, and then shortly after, the fireworks started. A few minutes after that, the fellow chapman rushed towards me and ran into Half Moon Street.
Please continue.
I didn't pay attention, but suddenly I heard a woman's cries and police whistles on the other side of Half Moon Street. I rushed over there and I saw the 2 dead bodies on the ground. When I reached Whitechapel Street, I saw Leighton Chapman. He'd been caught by 2 police constables.
Interesante.
Did you hear the shots?
I didn't hear any shots. The fireworks were all over the sky. They were so loud I couldn't hear anything else.
What were the fireworks in honor of, Constable?
Well, today's Queen Victoria's birthday, Mr. Holmes.
Y es un enviarle un
I
regalo.
appear
O sea,
to
que
have lost
genial.
track of the days. It is May now, of course. Constable Marrow, what else caught your attention while you were running through Half Moon Street?
I saw nothing but rats, and I took the time to light every corner with my lamp.
Did you happen to look up at Mr. Turner's window when you were on Half Moon Street at that time?
Yes, I saw that the window was open, but no one was there. It was dark in the room.
Constable, your statements have been of great value to me.
Pero de gran ayuda, porque justamente está cerrada ahora mismo. Si antes está abierta, puede ser que en verdad él haya asesinado a los cuerpos. Bueno, los cuerpos no, los tíos. Los cuerpos ya estaban muertos, ¿sabes? Si R1, baldosas. ¿Qué le pasó a la baldosa? Objeto atascado. No, sí, ya, me estoy dando cuenta. Trozo de madera. Pues parece un trozo de
A
papel,
piece
¿verdad?
of wood that has stuck between the cobblestones. Let us take a closer look.
Y si lo coges mejor, ¿vale? Parece de un bastón. Creo yo. Digo yo. Si encuentras algo, pues mejor, ¿sabes, Holmes? Holmes. Ya era hora.
This shard of wood is quite new.
Es más, os diré de dónde es. Del carrito de las flores. Se le ha jodido la pata. Ya verás tú.
The bullet struck his head. This man didn't stand a chance.
¿Dónde hay algo? Aquí. Una llave.
This is an ordinary key. I wonder what kind of door it opens.
El corazón de Watson seguro. Para ver la cartera. A ver.
He tried to stop the bleeding with his hand. Death was not instant.
Aquí no hay nada. En los bolsillos tampoco. Herida. Bueno.
The bullet penetrated his stomach. A dreadful wound. Brian Vercotti suffered greatly. What a terrible way to die.
¿Hay algo más? ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde? Ah, me la mano.
A tattoo from Westgate Prison. Vercotti must have done some time there.
Tendremos que ir a echar un vistazo, entonces también, allí. Por aquí no hay nada más, ¿no, Watson? ¿Has cargado todo? Porque creo que no. La gente
It would be my pleasure to assist you with your investigation, Mr. Holmes.
Tráeme un café. A ver, vamos a hablar con este tío. Mira, Wiggins. Espérate, aún no. Tú. Déjame subir arriba.
Good evening, Mr. Turner.
I heard Constable Marrow reply to you as Mr. Holmes. Are you that detective gentleman? I've heard of you. And, well, I know things. Things about this evening.
Excellent. Might we hear your story?
Pero antes que nada, vamos a investigarte un poquito. A ver, ¿qué encontramos? Mirada perdida. No. Broche de la insignia, batalla de la Balaclava. Guerra de Crimea, veterano de guerra. No está nada mal. Che, le faltan botones. Vida humilde. Le faltan botones. Pues están... Bueno, le falta uno. No le faltan botones, le falta uno nada más. Chepe. Necesito bastón. Pierna débil. Cojera. Pues es de... El trozo de madera es de su bastón. ¿Ves? Yo os decía que era un bastón. Si es que no me hacéis caso. A ver,
Could you
declaración.
tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
I was already in bed when the fireworks started. A few moments after, I clearly heard 2 gunshots from outside.
Please continue.
I quickly got up and I grabbed the lamp from my nightstand and I rushed towards the window. I looked down and I saw 2 bodies. And there was a man with a gun who was standing nearby.
Where exactly?
Well, near this body.
Did he notice you?
I don't think so. He rushed towards Whitechapel Street without looking around.
¿Había alguien más?
Mr. Turner, did you see anyone else in the street?
No, I saw no one but that man, the murderer, the fellow they caught.
Were the 2 shots you heard consecutive?
Yes, there was a very short pause between them, and they sounded different somehow. It seemed to me that the second shot was louder than the first.
That is an interesting comment. Mr. Turner, what were your actions after you stepped up to the window?
I was afraid that the man with a gun might return, so I stayed close to the window till I saw the policeman coming in the half-moon from Whitechapel. Then I walked out to tell them everything I saw.
You have helped us a great deal, Mr. Turner.
Lo que hay una cosa que no me ha quedado muy clara, ¿sabes? O sea, principal. Si el tío estaba aquí, porque no me he dado cuenta en verdad si ha dicho que estaba debajo de su ventana o no, no podía verlo el tío. Pero claro, si te fijas, este tío ha recibido el balazo en la cabeza y normalmente cuando recibes un balazo en la cabeza, el tío está mirando para allá, ¿sabes? Entonces ha hecho cataclasas y se ha caído para atrás. Pero este ha recibido el disparo en toda la barriga. O sea, que el tío, pues que estaban hablando de cara a cara. Significa, ¿sabes? Que uno recibió el disparo de esa parte y el otro desde aquí. Por eso he dicho que hubo un segundo disparo más fuerte porque estaba debajo de esa ventana. Entonces el brother de este estaba en el otro lado donde está Watson ahora mismo. O sea que tenemos 2 asesinos.
I'll do
Wiggins.
anything to save my brother, Mr. Holmes.
No sé. Ustedes. Vamos a ver. Y aquí, disparos distintos, 2 víctimas. ¿En serio? Tú eres tonto. Vista de Turner por con la ventana. Vale, perfecto, me encanta. Declaraciones contradictorias. El señor Turner afirma que él permaneció junto a la ventana de su piso hasta que llegó la policía. No obstante, esto se contradice con la declaración de Marrow. La gente no vio a nadie en la ventana. Uy, espérate, que creo que había otra. Muestra pruebas. Disparos. Ah, pues no. Entonces, claro. Señor Turner. Señor Turner, déjeme subir arriba, por favor.
Mr. Turner, you have stated that you remained close by your window after the crime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I stayed at my window until the policeman arrived to examine the dead bodies.
Nope. Eso es una contradicción. Muy grave.
That is very interesting, Mr. Turner. Constable Marrow stated that he did not see anyone at the window when he was running through Half Moon Street.
Well, I think Constable Marrow and me, we might have been distracted by the whistles and shouts coming from Whitechapel.
No
We
te
could
creo.
have missed each other somehow. You understand what I mean? It was a bit of a stressful moment, to tell you the truth, sir.
¿Cómo que estés antes? Si tú estabas en una casa, en una ventana, estabas
Mr.
seguro.
Turner. Would you mind showing me the view that you had from your window?
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Please, follow me.
Dime tu Twitter. Cojeras, @cojera.com. Venga.
Mr. Turner appears to live very modestly.
Chimenea. ¿Qué le pasa a la chimenea que tengas que investigarla?
This fire is dying out. It was last tended to over an hour ago.
Sí, y entonces... En principio tendría que haber algo más. Ah, vale, R1, fuego. Cenizas. Papel quemado. Sí, píllalo con la mano y desnuda. Claro que sí, campeón.
The papers are almost entirely burned. I am unable to see what's written here.
Pero por la parte de atrás, ¿hay algo?
These words are illegible. The
Pues vale.
papers were thrown into the fire just a short while ago.
Quería deshacerse de algo y no pudo. A ver. Dime, estanterías. El bastón. ¡Ta-ta-ta-tan!
A perfect match. So, Mr. Turner broke his stick when it became stuck between the cobblestones. He did not mention that he was so near to the victims.
A ver, por aquí hay algo más. Por aquí tiene que haber algo más. Los
The
libros.
books on this shelf are in a mess. It looks as though Mr. Turner was trying to find something in a hurry here a short while ago.
Y no creo que sea el amasador que hay ahí, pero bueno. Entonces, a ver qué hay más por aquí. Ahí está la ventana. Pero antes, señor Dartner, voy a investigar su cuarto. Porque estas figuritas me están dando mucho miedo. No creo. Aquí no hay...
Mr. Turner was roused from his bed by the sound of gunshots.
O sea, le despertaron los ruidos de los dos disparos, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces el tío, con toda la cojera, fue hasta esa ventana, ¿no? Y claro, lo viste todo perfectamente, sobre todo al tío, corriendo. Claro que sí, campeón.
This kitchen knife is quite sharp.
Mesa de cocina. Restos. Papel cortado. Ya me dirás tú dónde el papel. Joder.
There are pieces of shredded paper scattered over the table. This kitchen knife was used to cut the paper.
Cógelo. Por aquí no hay... Nothing more, right? De acuerdo. Señor,
Anything else you would like to know, Mr. Holmes?
abre la ventana. Pues no, vale, ya la abro yo. Madre mía. No te levantes, ¿eh?
So, that's the view Mr. Turner had when he opened the window.
Interesante.
The dead body of Kenneth Butler. Brian Vercotti's contorted corpse. Mr. Turner had a perfect view of the crime scene. He saw the bodies clearly, and Leighton Chapman standing over them.
L1. Determina la secuencia de los acontecimientos. Vale, entonces fue. Y el tío se levantó. El tío se levantó. Abrió la... ¡No! No. Abrió la ventana. Abrió la ventana. No, dejarlo hasta roto, no. ¿Cogió algo? No. Vale, no, vale. Abrió la ventana. Se aproximó al cuerpo. Entonces dejó el bastón roto y cogió algo. Cortó los papeles con el cuchillo y luego tiró algo al fuego. Vamos a ver la secuencia que hizo. Ay, no puedo. Cojamos el bastonel. Ay, el petecante morenao. Y hay disparos. Oh, Dios mío. Qué pesado en la calle. A ver, Hitchcock, corre más rápido. He visto cojos más rápidos, Había un asesinato. Vamos a ver. Ah, vale, que si le doy a... ¡Hostia, que se iba más rápido! La Virgen Santa. ¡Oh, Dios mío! ¡Ha muerto! ¡Oh, se me ha roto el palo! No pasa nada. Subo para arriba. Dejo el bastón. Cojo el papel. Cortamos el papel. Y luego lo tiramos al fuego.
So Mr. Turner used a book to hide an object that he found on Kenneth Butler's body. The question is, what did he find?
Pues habrá que investigar los papeles. Seguramente. No. ¿Qué? Ah, R1. Vale, libros. Huellas de grasa. Porque tú lo digas.
I can see prints from greasy fingers upon the cover of this book.
Claro que sí,
Let us take a closer
campeón.
look.
Porque eres Sherlock Holmes, ves todo el mundo, ¿no? Moby Dick.
Well now, what a find. A precious jewel, concealed inside a book.
Y dos carneros.
A bracelet with a unique ram's head design. A distinctive feature of ancient Grecian artifacts, probably of the Hellenistic era.
Yo te juro que la comprensión de Holmes me supera. Pero es que me supera. Señor, ¿qué tiene que decir a todo esto?
Mr. Turner, how would it be possible for a man of advanced years, such as yourself, to rush from his bed to the window in a matter of seconds, as you have stated?
Well, I'm able to move very quickly, despite my age. And when the situation requires it, Mr. Holmes.
Que sí, Hitchcock, que sí. Que no.
I highly doubt that, Mr. Turner. I observe that you suffer a severe limp due to your injured right leg. It would have taken at least 10 seconds for you to approach the window. That means you could have easily missed something or someone in Half Moon Street during that time.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. I could have missed something. But it did seem to me that everything happened so quickly. Time can pull tricks on you.
And what of everything else that you told us? Mr. Turner, it is vital that we have your complete and true statement.
Mr. Holmes, I do assure you that the other things I said were most sincere.
En todo lo demás. Vale, sí.
Mr. Turner, you were not sincere with me. Not then and not now.
But Mr. Holmes...
This, Mr. Turner, does not look like anything that a poor man might possess. It is worth more than the home that you live in.
I can explain.
Lo dudo.
No, merely correct me if I am wrong. You saw Leighton Chapman through the window, but you also noticed a glittering object on the ground, this precious jewel. You walked down and took the bracelet from the body of Kenneth Butler, and when you heard the whistles, you hurried away. That broke your walking stick. It caught fast between the cobbles. Constable Marrow was unable to see you in the window as you were climbing up the stairs on your way back to your flat. Upon returning home, you hid the precious jewel inside a book.
Mr. Holmes, please don't send me to prison. I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a poor man. When I chanced upon the bracelet, I saw it as an opportunity to make a little money. I was desperate. I only took the bracelet, that's all, I swear.
You made a mistake by lying to me. But you are not a criminal. I believe that. Although I must return this bracelet to its rightful owner.
Si se le tira por la culata,
Wish
es lo que
this
nos ha dicho.
crime had never happened, Mr. Holmes.
Sí, sí, eso dice todo el mundo. Aquí está el piso Turner completado. Vale, pues vamos a bajar para abajo. Me está rascando, perdón. A ver. Wiggins, ¿qué te pasa?
Mr. Holmes, did you see my brother at Scotland Yard?
Aún no.
Is he all right?
Ahora voy para allí, un momento. Voy a ver si este dice algo.
It would be my pleasure to assist you
Sí.
with your
Pértiga.
A fairly long pole with a forked end.
Punto de
a fe-
interés. ¿Para qué? Punto de interés, ¿para qué? Una pértiga.
I'm always...
Sí, sí, yo también, guaso. ¿Y una pértiga para qué? ¿Para qué? ¿For what? ¿Para qué propósito hay una pértiga ahí? Me dice punto de interés. No entiendo. Pero antes. ¡Florista! A ver, a Iris. ¿Qué vamos a hacer?
Mrs. Powell?
What do you want?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting the police with their investigation of the crime that took place this evening.
Well, I've already gave my testimony, but very well.
Could you tell us everything that you may have seen or heard?
Yes. I was selling my flowers as usual, and then the fireworks began, in honour of Queen Victoria. I enjoyed those. But then, all of a sudden, a young lad ran out of Half Moon Street and stopped just by me. He had a gun in his hand. He was like a ghost, and all covered in blood. It was dark, but I could see him, because of the flashes from the fireworks.
And then?
I screamed as loud as I could. I knew that a policeman should be on duty in the vicinity. He had no time to escape. 2 constables got him. Then another constable came out from the very same street, and I heard him talking of a horrible murder.
Mrs. Powell, did you hear the gunshots?
I'm not sure. You know, what with the fireworks?
Did you see anyone else leaving Half Moon Street prior to or at the time of the crime?
No, sir, I did not. Even with all the fireworks, I was very attentive, as I'm always on the lookout for customers.
My thanks to you, Mrs. Powell.
Muchas gracias, señorita. Investigar la escena del crimen y hablar con los testigos. Completado. Vale, entonces vamos a ir hacia Scotland Yard. Investigar el placer antiguo y encontrar... y averiguar cómo pude llegar a Half Moon Street. Bueno, primero, antes que nada, claro, tenemos esto, que es el brazalete. Buscar en los archivos, ¿vale? Que es en Baker Street. Y pues vamos a hacerlo porque es lo único que tenemos. Y así luego de investigar el brazalete, pues vamos hacia Scotland Yard. Buscar el brazalete, investigaciones, sí. Claro, un brazalete de oro antiguo que fue hallado en el piso del señor Turner. Está decorado con unas peculiares cabezas de carnero. Sí, a ver, investigaciones. Esto no creo que sea nada. Mira, toxinas, serias lesiones, criminalística. A ver. No. Artes marciales, marcas y emblemas. Tampoco. A ver. Periódicos. No creo que sea nada. Porque... enciclopedias. Aquí, arte y arquitectura. Ciencias económicas no. Tecnología. Historia. Historia griega. ¿Cómo que no? Se has dicho que era griego. A ver, pesado. Nikola Tesla. No. Si es que, madre mía. Estas bellas joyas antiguas forman parte de la colección de tesoros helenísticos. En la imagen se aprecian las 5 cabezas de carnero labradas en un brazalete, un collar y un anillo, todos de oro puro. Vale. Los 5 carneros de Mitilene. Sí, Mitilene. Llevan desaparecidos desde 1885. Pues eran 5. O sea que falta encontrar el collar y el anillo. Ya lo sé. Ya lo sé. Periódicos. 1885. Tesoros helenísticos robados. Los tesoros helenísticos fueron robados en la noche de ayer mientras se transportaban en un carruaje desde el Museo Británico en la exposición de arte de Glasgow. El dueño de una casa de empeños, Kenneth Butler, se puso en contacto con Scotland Yard esa noche e informó de un caballero que había intentado venderle una serie de objetos históricos en su local de Church Street. La policía procedió a arrestar al hombre descrito, un ladrón profesional llamado Vincent Foley, que estaba intentando escapar de Londres por el puerto. Fue identificado por el conductor superviviente del carruaje que transportaba la colección de tesoros helenísticos. Vincent Foley se niega a confesar dónde está el resto de tesoros robados. Ha sido llevado a prisión. Los tesoros perdidos aún no han sido hallados. Entonces yo creo que el brazalete, el tío que recibió el disparo en toda la barriga, pues se lo dio al otro, al Kenneth, al que disparó de la cabeza. O sea que estaban... Esto, lo encontró, le hizo el chanchullo. El tío pues lo iba a recoger para pagarle la pasta o algo.
Kenneth Butler was involved in the story of the stolen Hellenistic treasures. A visit to his pawn shop should tell me more.
Pero no vamos a la casa de empeños, vamos hacia Scotland Yard. Sí, porque a ver. Debemos encontrar la llave, pues debe ser la de su casa. Bueno, Scotland Yard.
Continuará.
¡Ya!